There has been a surge in patients with repeated high fevers in Shanghai and other provinces. A minivan was struck by a rock collapse in Yichang City, Hubei Province, killing all 7 people inside. The CCP proposed 24 methods to increase foreign investment in the nation, but they were criticized for being inconsistent and ineffective. Guangdong Province is expanding its crowd prevention and control initiatives by recruiting food delivery drivers. It's all covered in today's China Truths. There has been a surge in patients with repeated high fevers in Shanghai and other provinces. On the 13th of August, the Twitter account Wenbei disseminated a series of 4 videos depicting instances of recurrent high fevers observed among children and adults within healthcare facilities located in Shanghai, Jiangxi, Zhejiang, Wuxi, and Jiangsu. These visual materials underscore the congestion in hospital waiting areas and lengthy registration queues. Testifying the intensity of the situation, one of the videos conveys the scarcity of available hospital beds and the ubiquity of patients receiving intravenous therapy. This collective situation prompts a disquieting question concerning the number of children afflicted with pneumonia. A testimonial from a Zhejiang resident delineates an illustrative case wherein her child grappled with persistently elevated temperatures ranging from 39 to 40 degrees Celsius on the 24th of July. The child was subsequently admitted to 2 hospitals in distinct locations, enduring a week-long treatment span across 3 medical facilities. However, the child's pneumonia condition exhibited limited amelioration, prompting a battery of medical interventions, including blood tests, laboratory analyses, CT scans, nebulization, and a suggested bronchoscopy. The mother, grappling with uncertainty, expressed reservations about the efficacy of these measures. Concomitantly, a Weibo user addressed this issue on August 12, noting a growing influx of patients presenting persistent high fevers that have been unresponsive to Western medical interventions for a week. The account advised considering the utilization of Chinese traditional medicine for fever reduction, postulating the likelihood of pneumonia in some instances, and acknowledging the potential limitations of nucleic acid testing in diagnosing bronchitis. Another Weibo user recounted a protracted and challenging sequence of events spanning 4 days. The narrative began with the eldest child's fever on a Thursday afternoon, followed by the second child's fever on Saturday, and subsequently, both the user and their spouse experienced fevers on Sunday. This series of fever-related events necessitated multiple visits to the emergency room within a single day. Compounded by the demanding circumstances, the user conveyed a sense of disarray and temporal confusion. Numerous online commenters shared similar sentiments, describing instances of fever-stricken individuals within their immediate surroundings. These testimonials encompass the economic implications of falling ill, emotional responses to fever-stricken children, and observations of altered symptoms compared to previous instances of illness. A subset of Twitter users subscribed to the notion that this phenomenon could be attributed to a vaccine disaster. Some invoked the context of a past period characterized by concerns over tainted vaccines, drawing parallels to the current concentrated outbreak of COVID. These users expressed their belief in a causal link between the vaccine and the observed fever incidents. The Twitter account G-Times responded to these assertions, recounting a personal experience where another individual fell ill nearby. The account holder further shared a sobering reflection on the loss of over 20 acquaintances and relatives within the past 3 years due to various health-related challenges. The account highlighted that a significant portion of these cases pertained to individuals who had undergone vaccinations, many of whom were in the middle-aged demographic and often pivotal members of their families. In recent times, there has been a noticeable surge in reported cases of infection attributed to the COVID virus variant EG.5, a constituent of the Omicron variant. This escalating trend spans multiple regions across the globe. The World Health Organization has flagged EG.5 as a variant of concern, warranting heightened scrutiny. Within mainland China, significant attention is directed towards the emergent EG.5 virus, consequently elevating the discourse surrounding individuals hailing from Sanyang who are reportedly experiencing a growing incidence of infections. This particular topic has gained prominence as a leading search query, eliciting various accounts from netizens asserting their affiliation with positive cases. Divergent perspectives are expressed, encompassing assertions of milder symptoms in comparison to previous instances of infection and, conversely, claims of exacerbated symptoms. A minivan was struck by a rock collapse in Yichang City, Hubei Province, killing all 7 people inside. Following the official documentation issued by Shanghai County, an unforeseen event transpired on the evening of August 14, involving the abrupt dislodgement of a large rock from a mountain located along Pinghua Road within Jinzi Township, Shanghai County. Regrettably, the descending rock collided with a 7-seater minivan that happened to be traversing the area at that time. The impact resulted in extensive damage to the vehicle, with the dire consequence of claiming the lives of all 7 occupants on board. As reported by Upstream News on August 15, the deceased individuals were identified as construction workers, thereby revealing a common professional affiliation among them. The description provided in the report expounds on the context of the occurrence. The designation of Pinghua Highway pertains to a rural thoroughfare connecting Pingshui Village within Shanghai County to the Wawa mining precinct. This region encompasses several phosphate mines under the exclusive ownership of state enterprises. Recent developments encompass the engagement of a construction enterprise from Shanghai County, which undertook residential construction endeavors catering to the mining companies. The ill-fated incident materialized as the 7 construction workers embarked on their return journey to the dormitory following their dinner reprieve. Observations made by mainland netizens reflected a somber sentiment, with expressions of shock and compassion in response to the calamitous event. The role of persistent rainfall was conjectured by some as a contributing factor, invoking a sense of natural adversity. Preceding the current incident, a flash flood and subsequent mudslide took place within the Jiaozi formation of Haiziping Village, situated in Luanzhen Street, Chang'an District, Xi'an, on August 11. Following the official statement from local authorities, this calamity resulted in a combined toll of 27 casualties and individuals missing in action, of which 21 individuals lost their lives and 6 individuals were reported missing. The disaster also bore collateral effects, including the destruction of 2 residential structures spanning approximately 300 square meters, impairment to 3 sections of 210 National Road, and partial damage to 21 other locations. The aftermath of the disaster extended to critical infrastructure, encompassing 3 power facilities that suffered impairment, leading to the failure of a 35 kV power line. This outage had the unfortunate consequence of affecting 900 households as well as precipitating the shutdown of 55 communication base stations. The CCP proposed 24 methods to increase foreign investment in the nation, but they were criticized for being inconsistent and ineffective. The current economic situation in mainland China is characterized by a decline in economic activity, foreign capital outflows, and subdued domestic demand. In response to this economic downturn, the Chinese Communist Party, CCP, has taken steps to stimulate the economy and introduced a series of measures aimed at attracting foreign investment. However, these measures have been met with skepticism due to perceived inconsistencies and limited efficacy. On August 13, the State Council of the CCP unveiled a set of 24 opinions titled Enhancing the Foreign Investment Environment and Strengthening Investment Attraction. These opinions are intended to bolster the inflow of foreign investment into the country. However, critical analysis from external sources highlights the presence of contradictory policies and unclear directives within these opinions. The document underscores the establishment of a streamlined pathway for qualified foreign invested enterprises. It emphasizes the efficient execution of security evaluations for the export of crucial data and personal information, with the overarching goal of facilitating secure, structured, and unhindered data movement. Furthermore, the opinions extend support for foreign investment in the establishment of research and development centers within China. The CCP stance also encourages foreign-invested enterprises and their research and development centers to undertake significant scientific research initiatives. Additionally, there is an emphasis on expediting the implementation and production of foreign-invested projects within the biomedical domain. The CCP aims to foster an environment conducive to foreign-invested enterprises conducting clinical trials for cell and gene therapy drugs that have been approved for overseas markets. This includes optimizing prevailing preferential policies, such as streamlining procedures for the registration of drugs that were initially produced abroad and later transitioned to domestic manufacturing. The measures implemented by the CCP have garnered skepticism from the international community. It is widely held that these measures run counter to the actions taken by the CCP in recent years. Furthermore, the language employed in articulating these measures lacks the necessary clarity to alleviate doubts and apprehensions among observers. A report from Radio Free Asia, RFA, highlighted that the sweeping apprehension of espionage suspects by the general populace has instilled a sense of trepidation among foreign business entities. This environment of uncertainty appears incongruent with Beijing's expressed commitment to fostering an attractive climate for foreign investment, raising questions about the coherence of the CCP's policies in the current year. This apparent contradiction becomes more evident when considering the context of recent policy changes. Notably, the CCP's introduction of the Foreign Relations Act and the revised Anti-Espionage Act, which came into effect on July 1, have elicited concerns from the U.S. government. The enactment of these laws has prompted the U.S. government to advise its citizens to cautiously deliberate on traveling to mainland China due to potential risks arising from arbitrary law enforcement, exit restrictions, and the potential for wrongful detention. Foreign companies have responded to this environment of uncertainty by divesting from mainland China. The Associated Press, as cited in the report, notes that the expanded definition of espionage within the CCP's revised anti-espionage law has significantly eroded investor confidence. In response, foreign enterprises have retracted their investments and relocated their Asian headquarters away from mainland China. This trend is accentuated by the CCP's public promotion of a collective effort to identify and apprehend spies, which has only exacerbated concerns among foreign investors. The South China Morning Post, in its analysis of the document, has scrutinized the provisions related to the fast track for cross-border data transmission by foreign investors who fulfill specific criteria. This trajectory of data control measures is exemplified by the implementation of the standard contract measures for cross-border transmission of personal information on June 1. These measures mandate certain personal data processors, encompassing even those handling data for 1 million Chinese citizens, to establish contracts with overseas recipients before transferring data abroad. This regulatory stance involves stringent penalties for unauthorized data collection, processing, storage, and utilization, as well as heightened scrutiny over the transfer of important offshore data. This development represents the most recent addition to Beijing's endeavor to assert tighter control over domestic data. This initiative harmonizes with the overarching legislative framework outlined by the CCP for data management. This framework encompasses pivotal laws such as the Cybersecurity Law, the Data Security Law, and the Personal Information Protection Law, along with a series of legally backed government regulations. However, the industry insiders who operate within this regulatory framework have raised pertinent concerns. They point out the presence of ambiguities in various aspects of these regulations. In particular, ambiguities within safety assessment procedures have led to a sluggish approval process and generated a climate of confusion, posing potential harm to certain enterprises. This observation underscores the significance of well-defined and unambiguous regulations to ensure a smooth regulatory landscape, which, in turn, aids in fostering investor confidence and market stability. Guangdong Province is expanding its crowd prevention and control initiatives by recruiting food delivery drivers. In recent years, the Communist Party of China, CCP, has implemented a series of initiatives termed crowd prevention and control, which is similar to the Chaoyang crowd in Beijing. According to the Nanfang Daily on August 11, the Guangdong provincial government recently issued the regulations on the supervision and administration of group prevention and control organizations in Guangdong Province, scheduled to take effect on September 1 of this year. The regulations unequivocally articulate that bus and taxi drivers, couriers, and food delivery personnel, as well as militiamen, are explicitly encouraged to participate in crowd prevention and control activities. Furthermore, an intriguing aspect of the document is the encouragement of recruited members to concurrently serve as part-time security officers in diverse settings such as buses, subways, campuses, and medical institutions. Notably, this approach to recruiting personnel for these roles is prevalent across the nation. An instance that sheds light on the implementation of this can be observed through a recent development reported by the Tianjin Politics and Law Daily on August 14. In this report, it was revealed that the Lutai Police Station, a constituent of the Ningyi branch of the Public Security Bureau, established a collaborative agreement with the Meituan food delivery platform. Under this agreement, numerous food delivery workers operating within the jurisdiction were invited to participate in a newly formed patrol team. The emphasis of this collaboration is to leverage the distinctive expertise of food delivery workers to effectively traverse local streets, thereby contributing to the preservation of law and order. The crowd prevention and control paradigm, as defined by the CCP, functions as a comprehensive strategy aimed at harnessing the collective power of the populace to safeguard political stability. The origins of this approach trace back to March 27, 1998, when Jiang Zemin inaugurated the Central Leading Group for Maintaining Stability in response to concerns about political turbulence. Subsequently, in September 2001, the CCP issued opinions on strengthening the comprehensive management of social security. This directive underscored the imperative of enhancing social control, prompting the integration of surveillance mechanisms down to the village and household levels to be enacted and upheld by the community members themselves. Over the past 2 decades, the CCP authorities have consistently extended the reach of their group prevention and control initiatives. Notably, in Beijing, 2 prominent entities, namely the Chaoyang Crowd and West City Ant, have garnered significant official recognition. According to a report from a mainland Chinese media site, the Chaoyang Crowd Group has a staggering number of 140,000 registered members. The Chaoyang Crowd is referred to as a collective term for the informants who inhabit the streets and roads of Chaoyang District. These people include service and patrol personnel, security guards, doormen, retirees, volunteers, courier workers, and even white-collar workers. The Chaoyang Crowd is well known for successfully exposing the drug usage and whoring of celebrities multiple times. As asserted by official statements, the core responsibilities of these entities encompass the identification of suspicious individuals, prompt reporting of potentially disruptive individuals, and timely notifications regarding dubious persons, vehicles, and possessions. However, a discerning analysis of recent public reports reveals that these groups have, over time, been instrumental in supporting governmental efforts to curtail dissidents, human rights advocates, religious factions, petitioners, and other marginalized cohorts. Don't forget to comment in the section below to share your opinions on today's topic with us. Make sure to like and subscribe to see more interesting topics from China Truths.